Going on, BookTube? I'm back here in the sauna. Trust me, it's really warm back here. Like I said, that side's air conditioned. I mean, we've got like quilts and plastic and crap hanging up over back here where you can't see on this end, because this used to be a porch, and I closed it in many years ago. Just haven't got around to finishing it. Just explaining this room. Got sidetracked. We built out that way. But enough of that. I'm here to do the Reading the Humanities tag. This is an original tag by Mark Richardson over at Richardson Reads. You should know him. If you don't, you know what to do. Okay, and here are the questions. Number 1. Name a book or author who uses the field of or concepts from anthropology in their work. Now, naturally, I've got my books stacked up in the wrong order, but I'm going to go with Neanderthal by John Darton. Did a bit of digging as far as prehistory and what we know about evolution and the like there. Not describing this very well, but I did like this book. It's been quite a few years since I read it. But anything to do with prehistory, but that's another question. 2. A book or author who uses archaeology in their works. We're back to the Neanderthals. Now, Richard Leakey even commented on this book back. Changing the Image of Mankind, Eric Trinkhaus and Pat Shipman. That actually should have been question 1. Sorry about that. Hold that thought. Hang on, like I said, I got my books out of order. I'll get lined out here in a minute. Now, back to 2. Because I had a couple books that the question would apply to. Now, book 2, or question 2. A book or author who uses archaeology in their works. Alright. Of course, I'm going with nonfiction. The Riddle and Rediscovery of a Lost Civilization, Mayas, Charles Gillenkamp. And Easter Island, Earth Island, which obviously is about Easter Island, by Paul Bond and John Flinley. Is it called Rapa Nui? Yeah, Rapa Nui. Really, I'm sure you've heard of Easter Island. They call these statues the Moa. And they basically obliterated the forest to keep pace with their competitions and their religion, and pretty much destroyed their own ecosystem. Three, have you read a work from ancient Greece or Rome? If so, what was it? And do you have a favorite author? I'm going to go with, let me turn my answers right here. Should have done that a while ago. You have to look over me. I've been out in the woods today and stuff. That would be the Oresteia by Aeschylus, 3 plays. He was a Greek playwright. It's classified as a tragedy, best I can remember. I read it in honors English back in 97, I want to say. Thought it was pretty good. 4. History. Do you have a favorite historical period you enjoy reading about? Pretty much all of them. I mean, history is a big thing. When I transferred to Morehead State and was going to be a teacher, you get to pick your component, and it depends on your background, like with some of your electives and whatnot. So I had taken a lot of English classes. I'd also taken a lot of history classes, because I was like, well, English is going to be my component, and they're like, well, you've got this history background. So I do have quite a thirst for anything historical. But I have I mean, as far as a favorite period, prehistory for one, and the warrior cultures, the samurai, the Vikings. I'm gonna go with the Vikings, but like I said, anything historical is just, yeah, I mean, I'm there. Really. 5. Linguistic or languages. Reading is about language, among other things. What is your favorite translated work of literature? Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I have any favorites beyond this, but it's the Holy Bible. But now, this one here is special because it was given to my uncle in 1959, August 4th. I don't know if you can see that, by my grandmother, and of course she passed away years ago. My uncle was killed in a car accident several years ago. He had moved up north to Indiana. He was coming back from church, and the guy in the opposite lane, there was ice on the road, his head-on collision. My aunt survived. But the reason why this means so much to me is, yes, he's gone, and when they moved, they left a bunch of stuff in the house down the road, and there's no caretaker, so people had gotten there and gotten stuff, and this Bible went to Vietnam with him. He was 11 Bravo. He spent some time out there in the jungle, and it came back with him. So I just happened across it. We was going through some stuff down there, and he meant to come back and get some belongings, and he never made it back, so I'm holding on to this. Okay, I have somehow gotten myself lost. Okay, we're on 6, I'm sorry. Okay, that took a little out of me. 6, law and politics. Do you read political books or books related to the law? What are your favorites? I don't read a lot. Mostly what I've read. I got into politics briefly many years ago, and to me it was a waste of time. And if you get into politics, you can probably figure that out on your own. But I've read some fiction, Favorite Son by Steve Sommer, and believe it or not, The Dead Zone by Stephen King, and they all have to do with political assassinations. Seven, literature. Literature does not have a universally accepted definition. What is yours? Entertainment, edification, anything that adds to, augments, embellishes what you already know. It's in written form. That's literature. 8. Philosophy is the love of wisdom. Have you read a work of philosophy? Yes, I have. I have read quite a bit of philosophy. I actually took a semester of philosophy. And the instructor, his name was Robert Hatch, and he's a little skinny, kind of bird-like guy, and he turned out to be a really cool guy. I was having some difficulty, not with the class, but with acquiring books, and because books cost money, and he loaned me a book, and he goes, "Man, just bring it back to me at the end of the semester." I was like, "You got it, dude." But philosophy is, it's a combination of metaphysics and history and all kinds of different things. Yeah, I've read, Plato, Socrates, Thomas Aquinas, Bertrand Russell, quite a few actually. I used to have a book of essays around here on philosophy. It's really interesting, and it'll expand your mind or crush it, either one. 9. Religion. Name a book or author that you have read that has influenced your own personal view of religion. I read The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. I read God Is Not Great by Christopher Hitchens. Read The Missionary Position by Hitchens. I like that. And I think it's a mistake to be closed-minded about other people's views, regardless of your own, when it comes to what is beyond what we can touch or prove, using scientific method and stuff like that. So that'd be it. That'd be Dawkins and Hitchens, probably. I've listened to Sam Harris, and the magician, I can't think of his name. It's the Four Horsemen. Interesting guys. 10. Performing arts, musicology. Theater and dance often put the performer front and center. Do you have a favorite performer? I have a lot of favorite performers, but I'm going to go with Andrea Bocelli, Portivo Lare, if you're not familiar with that. That is one song, when he does it, I honestly tear up, and it's a very moving, powerful song. And I've obviously, at my age, I've listened to a lot of great singers, musicians, and what have you, but he's definitely one of my favorites. I don't think there's a book about him, but I have not checked. 11. Visual arts. Do you have a favorite visual artist or media type? I love paintings. Pablo Picasso is one of my favorites. Cubism, just, I don't know, it appeals to me. I like still life. I like Rembrandt. I understand with texturing and the different techniques that they use. Van Gogh, Monet, Manet, Winslow. I know it's been a while since I took art. And Jacek Jurka. Salvador Dali, if you're into surrealism. Jacek Jurka, pardon me, who collaborated with Harlan Ellison on Minefields. Like I said, if you're into surrealism. Let me see if I can find just something here. Jacek Jurka. I think he's from Poland, but I would not swear to that. Okay, tag someone. Now, Mark tagged me back in April, and I don't know who's done this tag since then. But please, anybody, feel free to do this tag. You'll enjoy it. It'll make you think. It'll make you go through your books, which is pretty important, especially the thinking part. But thank you very much, Mark, for the tag. Sorry it took me a while to get to it. And anybody else that's tagged me, if I'm aware of it, I will get to your tag. So cheers, my friends. Sorry about stumbling around there earlier, but like I said, been out in the woods today. It's been unbearably hot, and it takes it out of you. So it kind of messes with your on-camera presence. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.